brain. So not the tangible brain now, but the program in the brain. I also believe is as different, just the way our skin is, and because our experiences shape our brain, shape the way we think, shape the way we are programmed. So, and of course, which now influences our view to things. So, I have been very curious to know.
And I think you're quite a relatable person, and I think I think I'm going to have a read of your book, Tim.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
an interesting man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks for your willingness to join this and to see how to um, share some of your wealth of experience, your view as well. When we first came to the UK, I'm a very curious person, and I study things so closely. And I know that even though our skin is different, but I think um, our brain, so not the tangible brain now, but the program in the brain, I also believe is as different, just the way our skin is, and because our experiences shape our brain, shape the way we think, shape the way we are programmed. So, and of course, which now influences our view to things. So, I have been very curious to know, how do the whites think? How do they view things? So, we might be looking at an orange or an apple, for example. Um, Someone from Africa might be seeing it in this way. I think very strongly a white person sees it differently. As in, I've always thought about that and I believe that. I have not, so I've had lots of conversations and interactions with white folks. So just to buttress and confirm my perception. And even if I never spoke to anybody, from my background in neuro-linguistic programming, I know so well. Because our experiences are different, our perception definitely will be different. In fact, a black person who spent 30 years in the UK and a black person who spent 30 years in Nigeria, their perception will certainly be different too. Because the way their brains are wired, the way their experiences have been, their perception certainly be different. So it's not just about the skin, but it's mainly about the way the brain is wired. But in either ways, I believe strongly that because of our humanity, because of that human nature, and because of our composition that is quite the same, there's a way we can find there's a way we can find a meeting point in our views, and then be able to um, make the world a better place, essentially, for ourselves. With the advent of social media, um, we can influence lives, we can touch lives, and that's what drives me really. That's what drives me really, to see how to touch one, just one life, just touch one life somewhere, touch one life. I have a dream. I have a dream in my lifetime to have influenced and helped 5 million African youths. So to
Wow.
influence, help, mentor, finance 5 million youths. So, and we started that in 2018.
Wow.
We started that in 2018, and the first program we did was Streets to Stars, taking taking. So we have those who are, we call them hawkers or street traders, right? So those who go around the street to sell. We don't have that in the UK, but in many parts of Africa, you have that, where people take, it could be plantain, it could be apple, it could even be water or drinks. So they put it in a basket or on a tray, put it on their head, and then in between traffic, you have them selling those things there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did that. So I did that growing up. Right, there was a time I dropped out of school. There was a time I dropped out of school, and that's what I was doing because my parents didn't send me to school. So my first focus was streets to stars, taking some of those people, taking them somewhere, and then talking to their minds. So even though our institution puts you in this point, that doesn't define you. That's not really who you are. There's something more inside of you. It doesn't mean you should now drop that thing and leave, but just have it in your mind. That's not your destiny. It's just a point, So, and this year, as of last month, we were financed over 50 African young people we paid for their training and all that on digital skills. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. I just find you an incredibly interesting man, really. Yeah, even your personality and everything, you match.
Thank you.
Your way of thinking, your personality, you connect up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, incredibly interesting man.
Thank you so much. I think I'll just bring this to a close so that I don't take so much of the time. At least I've exceeded the time I promised. But do you think you'd want to do more of this?
If you're happy to, if you were happy to work, alongside.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, anything. Okay. I mean, I actually really enjoyed.
Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed that.
So what I'll just